we're about to drop the review for Us, featuring the one, the only,
Jaja Kobina.
I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace,
And this is Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movies. Alright, so Jaja, you want to start us off, man?
Well, first of all, man, definitely happy to be on the show. This is pretty cool. Very interesting. But anyway, okay. So are we talking about the movie? This right now, or is this? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Just go.
It's pretty dope. Saw the movie. I think it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night. And my overall take from the movie was that I enjoyed it, but it was definitely different. I can't say it was the greatest scary movie. I can't say it was the worst scary movie. It's definitely something that you have to think about after the movie. I think that Jordan Peele does a really good job, as he did in the last movie with Get Out, combining suspense, comedy, drama, all in a scary movie. But it's not really as scary as it is kind of a hodgepodge of different emotions that you go through during the movie. So,
I like what you said, that it's not really a horror movie, and I feel like nowadays we're moving away from horror movies. Get Out, some of the highest rated quote-unquote horror movies are more suspenseful, more thrillers than a horror movie. I think that's what the public has been wanting these days. And you're right, with Us, I wasn't necessarily scared throughout any of it. I was more creeped out,
yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat, not because I was going to jump out, but because I wanted to see what was going to happen next. And I think that's the mark of a excellent film, that you want to know what's going to happen next. As you said, we want to go see it again. You digest it, you think, man, I missed that, or man, I could have seen this coming. So you're like, let me go see it a second, third, fourth time.
I'm going to have to break the mold. It was alright. Everyone's
Hating.
slicing it. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm going to say it was a good horror movie. It was an okay movie. Not great, just okay. It stars Lupita Nyong'o and...
Now, how do you say her name?
I don't even know how to say it. We just call it Peter.
It stars Peter and Winston Duke and, the kids and stuff. And it's about a family who goes on a vacation, and there's some secrets that come to light pretty quickly. It's not your standard horror film. It still has the standard tropes, the jump scares and stuff like that. But, everyone's been talking about the big twist. So, as always, the spoilers, are going to come on the back end of the video. But, it's just a run-of-the-muck average horror film that was very well directed and visibly shot, great music, and a lot of positives, well acted, but the story was kind of meh to me.
Alright, so I'm just going to jump on in. Cinematography on 100, like A1. Jordan Peele, you can argue about his writing, but I'm going to have to say he's one of the best directors of his generation. Just the shots he's getting, the way he's the work that he's able to draw out of his actors, just everything. It was a beautiful movie, if I could use that word.
Wait, Drew.
I know, I don't disagree. Like I said, the cinematography was amazing. He's very unique in the stories he wants to tell, and mad respect for him. But just to me, this story fell flat at the end. I'm chomping at the bit to get to the spoilers, so let's give it a score.
I'll go first. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay.
For me, I would say, compared to like the greats of all time, like The Exorcist from I think that was 76. Exorcist, one of the top scary movies. Paranormal Activity being in top 10 for me. I would say even Get Out. I would say this movie for me ranks about a 7.9, maybe about 7.5. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make that 7.5. I'm gonna say it's about a 6. That's chill 6. All right, pause for math.
All right. So 9, 7.5, 6 for an average score of 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. What's the Rotten Tomato score?
It's 100%.
It was like 99%.
It was 99%.
Okay, so we're not too far off.
So it's definitely a go see to me. Again, it's either you really gonna like it or you probably hate it. So not too many people from what I've heard have been like, yeah, it's okay, but you know, that's my
he's a little special, so
yeah. So.
But definitely don't bring your kids.
Bring your kids.
Again, it wasn't scary, but the people in the theater, we went to see it. The one lady, she was all curled up on a man. The other guy, he was eating popcorn, eyes wide open. So
he was scared. Ace was scared.
Ace definitely wasn't scared. I'll admit, I'm Ace.
Oh, you're Ace. Oh, I'm sorry.
Deuce and Ace. Bro to the movie.
I just remember Bro to the movie. So Jaja. Anyway.
Yeah, I was creeped out. I lost my train of thought. Again, I wasn't scared. Very few things would scare me, but I was creeped out. Again, on the edge of my seat. So.
Oh wow.
Like, go see it.
Go see it. Okay. You know, we described this thing. It's time to get into the spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie or care about spoiler talk, after you like and subscribe, cut this video off and then come back later. We're about to get into it.
Like and subscribe.
All right.
At Bro to the Movies on Twitter.
Bro to the movies.
All right. So right off the bat, let's talk about the big twist at the end. What was her name? Adelaide.
Something like Adelaide.
It turns out that Adelaide, the Lupita Nyong'o's character, the regular one, is actually Red, her tethered version.
And pause. And that's it. That's the twist. It's not that spectacular.
Oh, the twist in Get Out wasn't that spectacular.
But all of Get Out, the whole story was unique.
And this story wasn't unique?
No, just the twist.
Okay, the story was...
Excuse me.
The story itself was unique. I mean, obviously, it's...
What the middle of the movie, what's unique, is scary individuals. They just happen to be mirror reflections. But the middle of the story is just killing and running away from scary stuff.
Okay, it's a horror movie. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jaja.
Yeah, Jaja.
I mean, I feel like that...
Pause. Do y'all smell ham?
Yeah.
You got leftover ham.
I think that's what she was microwaving.
You might smell ham.
Okay.
So, still got Christmas too.
So the whole movie in general is a very unique type of movie. You normally don't hear about movies with clones, and then on top of that, it's a black movie. So that in itself is unique to me. Now, at the end, when Adelaide or whatever is met with her tethered version, and then we find out the tethered version was actually the person that was on Earth, and then Adelaide was underground or whatever. It was a very interesting way to end it, because it was like, dang, I want to know more. And it's like, damn, I thought it was going to be like a really crazy end off, because then he cuts to a scene where, all the tethers are holding hands.
And you can say that's a callback to the Hands Across America, but that doesn't make it an amazing movie. It's just well written that this is what was in the beginning.
But see, I didn't get that part. I didn't get the Hands Across America thing. So because I had to think about it and it wasn't given to me, it wasn't the, oh my God, ending. You know what I'm saying? Like, If he brought out a 2, I definitely would go see it. But because I had to do my own research, he doesn't give you a lot of the way he shot it, the tie-ins, again, the quote in the beginning, and then you fall in love with this family most of the movie. You kind of get used to who they are. Then a new family comes in, and it's like this clash between both of them. Then you have to figure out, why is this, why are they clones in general? And then, so it's a lot of different, I can see where Andrew comes from, because there's a lot of different things he puts into the movie, and he doesn't just necessarily spell it out for you. So, but for me, like I said, I still go see the second one or whatever, but yeah.
So I want to go back to what you said about the black family. I do enjoy seeing a black family in the movies. Obviously, we're all black. We see our representation. But I like how, unlike Get Out, this wasn't a racially driven movie. This family could have been white, could have been Asian, Hispanic, anything. It just happened to be black actors. So I feel like it's more more tangible for other races to come in and see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I also agree. It's the normalization of representation. Like, you don't have to, nothing wrong with a slavery piece or, civil rights piece, but it doesn't have to be that for it to be black folk. And yes, I agree, that's a good thing.
These some smart brothers right here, yo. Anyway, I just want to say it.
But,
Pause. So, going back to the Hands Across America thing, you said, oh, that's it at the end, but that was their whole plan to begin with. The Hands Across America thing in the 80s, it was a real thing. They were like, hey, we're going to stop homelessness, stop hunger. Look, these people need help. That was the Tether's plan. Yeah, they're psycho murderers, but in the end, when she told the story, she was like cutting the construction paper. Yeah, and then the representation of Hands Across America, because these tethered, like they said, we're Americans. We're still people. We're a creation of the government, but we just want somewhere to live. So they're showing their representation. They're showing, hey, just like Hands Across America, we exist as well. We deserve somewhere to live.
And I see what you're saying. Like, that's why it wasn't really spelled out for me. I was confused. And so there's bunnies, there's scissors, there's people in red suits getting killed. So it's a lot, like, to take in. It's not just a typical scary movie where you'll know the main antagonist and you know why they're trying to kill you. So it was a lot of subliminal type messages, and it's not that's why I said it's not the typical scary movie you'll see. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, you fall in love with a family, a black family, and you're taken through a lot of emotional, normally with Jordan Peele, all this emotional trauma and all sorts of stuff. So again, I can see Andrew's disappointment a little bit, and other people's disappointment because you come in expecting a typical horror or a scary movie, and it's not that. Definitely not that.
Well, me personally, I don't like horror movies. I don't get scared. They're pretty much the same stories, but I was let down in that it wasn't something greater. Like, oh man, Adelaide is red is Adelaide. Okay, creative, but I mean, I left the movie theaters, just like, okay, great.
This dude fell asleep 3 different times in the movie theaters. He barely saw the movie, so take everything he says with a grain of salt.
I saw the movie. It was just, again, during the middle, when they were just slash horror, it was just, I was a little tired. It was after 11 p.m. Yeah, a little sus. But, all right, let's talk about the very end scene. That her son recognizes that she's a tethered. What is... Like, that doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because when they kill the tethered version of the white family kills their family, and then they're in the house. Then she goes back. Adelaide goes back to get the keys. The son is the only one who goes back to check on her and sees her rampaging out on the white tethered version. He sees her acting like the tethered, murdering with a scissor. He's like, man, that's weird. And okay, he moves on. Then at the very end, he's stuck in the locker. He hears Red's story to Adelaide. He doesn't know that they switched, but he can use his context clues to figure out that they switched. He's like, man, my mom's kind of psycho. The same way that if we were paying attention, could have put the clues together in the movie that Red was Adelaide the whole time. He was able to do that.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, then it's just finished. Like, I'm saying I need more. Like, he just take a bunny and it's like, okay, mom,
because he's been through a traumatic experience. He needs like an animal to help him, dog.
Yeah, well, I mean that for me, that part was the part that wanted to my curiosity wanted to continue. So for that part, that's why I said if there was a second movie, I would go see it, because he puts on the mask, signifying, he's like, yo, this is a stranger now. Like, this woman I knew so closely is not really the woman that I thought I knew as my mom. She's this tethered person. And so, again, that changes, the whole dynamics of the story, to make you like, what would have happened now? Will she continue, like, you have a tethered in your actual midst. So for me, that kind of, spurred my curiosity to figure out, like, if there's a 2, I would definitely be curious to see it. It wasn't the greatest of endings maybe, but again, if you have to piece together the movie, and I think that's the letdown for some people because they had to. There's no fantismo or there's no crazy parts. You just have to piece. It's a puzzle, and so that's kind of how he wrote the story. So fantismo.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. No matter if it makes sense or not, why he could just back up and send his tethered version to the fire, it makes sense within the world that the movie has created.
But it don't make all that much sense that the tether could now move independently, but because we want to kill this boy, now he can't independently move back away from the fire.
I mean, like, we could sit here and come up with theories. You could theorize because the little boy is actually a son of the tethered. His birth mother is a tethered. Maybe they have a stronger connection. I don't know.
But the daughter's equally the son of the tethered.
She would be the daughter of the tethered.
What did I just say?
The daughter is equally the son of the
tethered.
tethered.
The daughter is equally the daughter of the tethered. Like, there's this connection between the son and the mom. But what about the daughter and the mom?
But when she was in House of Mirrors, they were also moving together. So there's some sort of, that have to be explained a little more to me. I don't know. I couldn't put that piece together. I know that maybe the hands representing like the connection between people, but I don't know how some people can move independently at times, and then some were mirroring each other. Maybe I have no idea.
I would say he is a genius filmmaker. You could argue...
Agreed.
Yeah, argue genius writer, but as a director, I would say he is one of the brightest young directors that we have on the up and up. Because you see the shots that he's making. I don't know who handled the music, if he did it himself, but just the score was amazing. The operatic sounds, the music sets you on edge. How throughout the movie, there's the little riff from I Got Five on it playing, but with the horror undertones. It's just... again, just an amazing movie. That's why I gave it a 9. I'd have to say
operatic tone. Whoa, get your homework. Yeah, man.
Favorite movie.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I think that he has exceeded. Before him, I liked M. Night Shyamalan, but again, with Jordan Peele, I've never seen anybody put so many different emotions into a 2-hour movie. I think he's done that successfully, hands down. Well, I'm pretty sure we all agree on Get Out. I'm pretty sure we all agree on this movie. So he's 2 for 2 for me. So yeah.
1.5 out of 2. But I know everyone's been waiting for it to hear my tethered voice.
Wow. Go ahead, unsubscribe.
If you have not yet seen the movie, Red is the only tether who can speak, and she sounds like this.
Because she was choked and she's an actual human.
And it is a very good clue as to why she's the only one who can speak, because she is actually a human, not a tethered. So,
can I do my voice now?
Very good. Very good right now.
Can I do my voice? And I had the babies, and the babies was born in fire. And I danced and I watched my sister grow, and it was horrible.
No, it was a terrible That was probably the worst part of the movie, listening to that voice. And they probably did have to have sex at some point during, and I don't even want to imagine. Like, it was just terrible.
Yeah, because I guess they'd have to recreate.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Hey, this went totally left.
But I just want to talk about the subtext within the movie. Even without the subtext, I think it was an amazing movie. But then...
You must have paid him.
I'm out here standing for Jordan Peele for some reason. Even without the subtext, I thought it was an amazing movie. But just like with Get Out, it has a message. Some people could argue differently. Some people could argue what the message is. But so if you didn't see the movie, the clone versions, they were created by the U.S. government, kind of as a tool to try to help control the population. So they're going to be locked underground, and the above world was supposed to be puppets that the tethered were controlling. Somehow it got all mixed up, and the tethered became the puppets. And as they were breaking out being savages, I personally saw it as an allegory for slavery, how the Americans that came, they brought the slaves over and then treated them as savages. So like, all right, you're free. And then the slaves were like, hold up, we need a place in the world. I was talking about this earlier with the Hands Across America. They're like, yeah, we may not be the most cultured, but we are American citizens. We are humans. We deserve our quote-unquote rights. And I think that was very well done throughout the movie.
You really read into it. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I did not. I was just like, oh wow, tethered.
Yeah,
Again, really enjoyed this movie. Hope you enjoyed it too. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you love us? Hate us? Let us know.
Please, let us know.
Wow.
Big shout out to the homie Jaja Kobina for doing this.
Man, it's
with
been
us.
great, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm on this show. Appreciate y'all. This has been an awesome experience. Definitely definitely subscribe. Check them out. They're doing we curse on the show? No, not really.
I mean, we're show my kid.
Yeah.
Got
Well,
3
this
kids.
is definitely a very good show. The expletive behind it, okay? We're out.
Appreciate the support.
Hey, I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace. And this has been...
Oh, man. Oh,
Okay.
my bad.
I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this has been
Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movies. Out. Get up.